¿Qué pasa, mi familia? It's your girl, Sania, and welcome to Sania Palace. Whew. Hi. Um, I've been doing a lot of thinking and reflecting and evaluating. And I just want to say that yesterday was a different day, right? And clearly, I know that we all have our days where, it can look harder than the next day or the day before. Um, but where I'm going with this is I know nothing will be perfect, nothing will be um, always understood, and I'm okay with that. I just sometimes it's just hard to digest reality and put on this face like everything is okay. Um, Morning, Sania. Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for joining me, Quincy. I greatly appreciate it. Um, how is your morning going? I know that I have said too that I would try to get on here earlier, but for some reason, this is around the time, y'all. Like, this just works best for me. My kids are asleep. Everybody's in the house. It's quiet. Like, this is just the time. So, maybe God is calling me to, you know, speak at this time. So, I'm not even trying to fight against it anymore. I mean, there may be random times where I go on earlier, but overall, I can't fight it anymore. So, yeah. For sure, what's going on? It seems like something is disturbing your peace. Um, this is the witching hour. Okay. Okay, so to answer your question, Quincy, I don't I don't know if I can necessarily like point it out. I just know how I feel, and I don't, like I said, some things I don't understand, so I don't feel it's for me to really understand fully. Um, However, I'm just in a rough space where I feel like I have everything that I need. I just need to apply them. And for the longest, I just felt like I've been this hamster on a hamster wheel, just running, and not getting anywhere. So, um, yeah, that kind of explains how I feel. But then it's crazy because yesterday on my last live, it was very emotional. However, I got myself together and there was something that did jump out to me, but I didn't really share it on camera because I was just really angry and upset, and you know, I didn't want to feed into that. So, with that being said, I'll share what I read yesterday and get things going so that I can go over my notes from today and yesterday. So, yesterday was August 21st, and the only thing I felt that did stand out to me off bat was my devotion. which this would be fairly quickly, but it said, "The eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and his ears are attentive to their cry." And then it's crazy because I literally was like having one of those days where I just couldn't hold back from crying. Um, and that's Psalms 34:15. And then in the passage following that, it was saying that God's presence is so real. He continuously watches over us, and he is rock solid. So in all of that, I just felt like the Lord sees me, he hears me. I just have to remain a steward in his word. So these comments are coming in pretty fast. Let's see. um which of your gifts are you not applying? Okay, so I'll get into that in a minute. Um, and if you guys are new here, please welcome, welcome. My name is Sania. If you get a chance, please go check out my other content. Um, my goal here is to reach at least 500 hearts or lives. So if you can, please go subscribe, like, comment, hit the notification bell, and just give me some of your honest feedback. Of course, everything positive. I'm open to constructive criticism and all that good stuff. So if you can, please go and check it out. Um, let's see. Hey, I just subbed. Can I get a shout out? Of course, Mr. I don't want to mess up your name. Mr. Dikinbut. D, is it D or Die? Dikin? Dikin, I don't know. Sorry. Um, let's see. God bless you, beautiful. Thank you so much. God bless you as well. Um, Alrighty, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump into my notes. Thank you guys for joining me. Okay, do. All right. Hello, hello, hello. Let's see. Too innocent for these comments. I don't even see some of these comments, but I don't even know. Wait, what do you mean? Make me a mod. I don't know how. Like, what does that mean? I'm sorry, but I'm gonna jump into my notes for today. So today's August 22nd, 2024. It says, "Give praise to the Lord, proclaim His name, make known among the nations what He has done." And that was in First Chronicles 16:8. This was the devotion that I was reading. So that's the devotion that's called God Hears Her. And even after I read that devotion, what stood out to me in the passage was focusing on the good things in our lives may benefit our bodies, but directing our thanks to God benefits our souls. So, yeah, I thought that was very wise. Um, the Bible notes that I wrote today is very, I'm not going to say it's similar because it can be a little scary if it was that far, but I think it's just crazy how the Lord uses the word to relate to my feelings or how things are going in my life. So it brought me to the book of Job. And I'm like, I know my life does not compare to the book of Job and what he went through. Um, However, some of the emotions that he was going through, I can definitely relate, or I feel like, not only I can relate, but other people can relate as well. So I'm gonna just go through my notes, and then maybe in between I'll stop, make some comments or so. If you click on my name, it will give you an option to make me a mod. This will allow me to block the people making the weird comments. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Let's see. Uh, oh, as a moderator. That's what you mean? Managing monitor can manage blocked words and change chat modes and live. Oh, shoot. Can review and remove chats and hide or put users in timeout. Okay. I don't know what's the difference, but sure. Let's do the standard one. Let me know if this worked. I think I did it. Um, Job lost it all, didn't he? And stood tall. Oh, Job, yes. Ugh, I'm gonna go into it. Just give me 1 second. I'm trying to make sure. Oh, wow. That was quick. Okay, okay, okay. That was real quick. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Okay, so Job. Whew, this was the first thing that I wrote down. It was Job chapter 4, verses 3 through 6. It said, in the past, you have encouraged many people, you have strengthened those who were weak. Your words have supported those who were falling. You encouraged those with shaky knees. But now, when trouble strikes, you lose heart. You are terrified when it touches you. Doesn't your reverence for God give you confidence? Doesn't your life of integrity give you hope? I had to look up the word reference too, by the way. I knew what it meant, but I wanted to make sure it was what I thought it was, which it does mean deep respect for someone or something. So, let's see. The next thing I wrote was, if I were you, I would go to God and present my case to him. So this was his friend. I forget what his name was. This was his friend talking to him in response to what Job had originally said. And that's why yesterday was crazy, because I read, so yesterday introduced the book of Job. And it's just crazy because that's when I was going through, my frustrations and just really going through the motions, I would say. Uh, and it's crazy because Job was doing that exact thing. And then his friend comes along and says this stuff. So I'm just like, wow, that's crazy. But anyways, he goes on to say, did I read that? Oh yeah. Or maybe not. If I were you, I would go to God and present my case to him. Then he says, he does great things too marvelous to understand. He performs countless miracles. He gives prosperity to the poor and protects those who suffer. He frustrates the plans of schemers so the work of their hands will not succeed. But consider the joy of these corrected by God. Do not despise the discipline of the Almighty when you sin. For though he wounds, he also bandages. He strikes, but his hands also heal. I wish he could crush me. I wish he would crush me. So this is the response of Job after his friend is acknowledging all these things about the Lord. His friend goes on to say, Job goes on to say, I wish he would crush me. I wish we would reach out his hand and kill me. At least I can take comfort in this. Despite the pain, I have not denied the words of the Holy One. But I don't have the strength to endure. I have nothing to live for. Then he goes on to say, is not all human life a struggle? Our lives are like that of a hired hand, like a worker who longs for the shade, like a servant waiting to be paid. But your hope in the Lord, or put your hope in the Lord, travel steadily along his path. He will honor you by giving you the land. You will see the wicked destroyed. And then I went on to say, the Lord rescues the godly. He is their fortress in times of trouble. So, the stuff that I wrote down, like I said, just keep in mind, I just wrote this stuff down because this is what popped out to me during the book of Job and me just reading, you know, the word and putting it into perspective on how I can relate. So, but all of this is going on. I just know for me, um, I've definitely felt these things before, and not like I said that I've been experiencing life like Job did, because that is very I wouldn't say I wouldn't survive that, but at the same time, like, I couldn't even put myself in his shoes, and that's why I'm just like, and for him to, like, I'm not done with the story, but it continues on tomorrow, and I am familiar with this story, so I do know that in the end, yes, he conquers all of this and gains tremendous success as well as wealth, family, descendants, all of it, all of it. He receives everything that he deserves and more. So, but it's just about, it's crazy because it's about, and this is my opinion, but it's about the Lord showing us that even though we are doing everything right, um, there's still going to be troubled times, right? And there's going to be trials and tribulations. There's going to be distractions. There's going to be a lot going on. But it's in us to believe in the word. So God always gives us a choice. And to me, giving us a choice is an act of love, because if we didn't have a choice and we were forced, then how would we ever experience freedom, or how would we ever experience, you know, anything for ourselves when it comes to making a decision? Um, I feel he did this to prove not only to the devil but to Job that when you're righteous, when you live righteously, um, you will still have life. And regardless of what life looks like or how it feels in that moment, the bottom line of it is that the Lord is still protecting you. The Lord is still there in the midst. He's still in the presence. So with that, it's almost like, how could you uh how could you go against that, or how could you like not be okay with what is happening? And that's the thing. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. It's going to, bring emotions out of you that you probably have never felt before. But that's the thing where it's like, okay, how can you push forward? And that's why, too, I love this story as well, because if you don't have those people around you lifting you up or telling you, reminding you of God's love, and just really expressing um, what God can do, and you can really fall off and get distracted and fall into the pit, I would say, of, pittiness, or even, just sorrow, depression, all of that. All of that is very real. Um, but that's why it definitely takes, good friends, or not even friends, but just wise counsel. You never know why a person may come into your life. You never know, what anybody is going through. And with that, you just never know how you can help or make someone realize, you know, the life that they have in them to still do better, to still, reach for that goal, to still, give thanks. Because unless you are dead and buried and, have no life or breath in you, then that's when it's all over. Like, that's when it's the end. Like, I mean, yeah. So I'm just thankful that, yes, it may be a rough time right now. And when I say that, I'm not saying that, like, I feel like for me, it is in a specific area, which it's more of in my business endeavors. And not that I won't ever succeed in them. However, it's kind of trickling from my business, down to other things. And I just think, as long as I stay in the word and continue to stay faithful and be who I am called to be, then nothing and no one can stop me from what God has promised me. And that's the thing. Like, we have to make sure that we know what God's promised to us. Like, his words do not go void, and we have to know that, for ourselves. So as long as we know that, then, I mean, nothing can stop us. So, um, that was pretty much it for my notes, for my daily prayer routine. Um, let's see. Sorry, I haven't been reading the comments. Are you good? Yes, I'm good. I'm just, it's just, I think it's just life. It's life. It happens to us all. Um, so yeah, but I'm good. I'm still, favored by the Most High and blessed. Let's see. How do you know if a thought is from God or is your own thoughts? That's a good question. For me, this is why it's important for me to read the word, because how I am able to distinguish the two is, if I'm thinking a thought, most of the time, the word comes through and, like, confirms what I'm thinking. So, and I know that may be, like, a little hard to achieve, like, depending on your relationship with God and, like, how often you read the word and stuff like that. But for me, I feel it could also be confirmation, not necessarily in the word, but from somebody else saying something similar to my thoughts. But it depends on the person, because another thing, it is real where you can have people coming to distract you. So it really just depends on you and your relationship with the Lord, and if you've received him as your everything. So I hope I answered your question. Uh-oh, I might have to go get my son. Keelan. Babe. Babe. Give me 1 sec. Keelan. Can you go check on Keisaya, please? He's on the bed with Eliza. Thank you. Um, um, sorry, I just want to make sure my son's okay. He's crying. It's interesting because it explores the idea that we can never fully understand God's infinite wisdom, right? Humans' perspective or perception of just and fairness would say Job didn't deserve the trials. Exactly, exactly. I definitely agree to you, Quincy. You should watch the movie Frequency. What is that about? And then also, where could I find it? Like, is it on any like Prime or Hulu, Netflix? What is it on? What is it about too? I'm just curious. We have to trust there is always a greater good at play. Oh yeah, definitely. That's why too. I know, what is it? Romans 8:8, I believe, where sorry, where it says everything is for the good, or for the greater good of God's plan, or something like that. But it's just knowing that no matter what we go through, it's always for the goodness of the Lord. So we have to know that in our heart, though. Become unstoppable. I'd say few thoughts are our own. We aren't our thoughts. We are the observer of our thoughts. It's the human experiences to decide which thoughts you attach your identity to. See, and that's crazy too. I had a talk with one of my close friends. He's like a brother to me, and we were recently talking about every thought doesn't have to be entertained. So every thought is not for you to react on. So, with that being said, some thoughts you can entertain for like a second, and some thoughts you can entertain like for hours. But it's the fact of like, what are you trying to get out of it? Like, depending on what the thought is, it should, I don't know, like, and not to say like, because you have good thoughts, you have bad thoughts, but depending on what you decide to spend your time on, that's how like you'll eventually realize, like, is this healthy for me or is this not healthy, so you kind of know what's right from wrong. So yeah, I just wanted to share that real quick. Tell Keelan what's good. Oh, he went in the back. He went to go check out my son, but I'll let him know. What books would you recommend? I want to really dig deep in the word, but it is so overwhelming to know where to start. Okay. So first things first, when you say books, the first thing I would say is, because you said, what does it say? I want to really dig deep in the word, but it is so overwhelming to know where to start. I 100% agree. And it took me, this is my second time going into this book. This book is called The 1 Year Bible. And It's the NLT version, which I believe it's like easier translated. So it kind of goes based off of the day. I want to show you. So like my next read will be August 23rd. Sorry, it kind of looks backwards because I'm using my front camera, but that's why I think this is just so crazy how I started this challenge in August, and it literally lined up with what the word was saying. And I didn't purposely do this, and that's why I'm just like, who, when God like plans, ordains, and just make it known that he's speaking to you, you can't do anything but accept it. Like, and that's the thing. I didn't know, that I would be feeling like this at this time. I didn't know, what would happen. I still don't even know what happens tomorrow. I only, pray for, guidance and help, and just for him to guide my footsteps. But that's one book that I do recommend when it comes to the Bible. Another book I recommend is, as a matter of fact, let me see if I can show you guys, because I love books, guys. Like, if I had to choose between reading books and watching TV, reading books are my thing. So let me show y'all. I'm gonna flip my camera, because this is how much I love reading books. Now, I have not read all of these books, but they're on my bookshelf for a reason. So let me figure out how to flip my camera. Okay, there we go. So this is my entire bookshelf, and don't mind that because that's school stuff for my kids, and then that's just decoration. But so this one, I didn't necessarily read, but I heard the audio of it, and oh my gosh, it was phenomenal. And I'm gonna go back. This one, I feel like is definitely more business. Oh, Michael Todd, y'all. I love Crazy Faith. If you have not read this, oh my goodness, highly recommend it. Highly. And then me as a wife as well as a mother. So these were really good for me as well. So this one was mainly for me raising my kids, and oh my goodness, let me just tell you, it was so life-changing. This one was more wifely duties as well as becoming a wife, and what I wanted to kind of study to, become the, what's that called? Proverbs wife, pretty much. And then this one was really good as well. Don't give the enemy a seat at your table. Let's see, what else have I read? I read a few of these books, and some of them I want to reread, and some of them I have read twice. But I'm trying to think. Let's see. Oh, I think, yep, I definitely read this one before too. Get Out of Your Head. Oh, so good. I definitely have entertainment books in here as well, but yeah, there's just a lot that I feel could be read. Oh, this one too. As a Woman Thinking. There's a man version of this as well. I think it's As a Man Thinketh. I think that's the original. And then this one was rewritten. Yeah, As a Man Thinketh. There it is. So, yes. And then I had got that from my church. And then, yeah, I believe there's just so many books that I could definitely like recommend. But there's still books on my bookshelf that I need to read myself. So that's just a few. So I hope that helped. Talia, I think that's your name. Okay, let me put y'all back on my stand because oops. Okay, so Um, it's the guy from Passion of Christ. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Yeah, I'll definitely check it out then. Definitely trust in the Lord. Oh yes. It's in Amazon Prime and YouTube for $3. Okay, perfect. It's called Frequency, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Frequency. Okay, I'm gonna break that down so I don't forget. Because I will forget. um, let's see. So, do you guys have anything else going on tonight? Did you want to talk about anything else before I end this live? We are almost at 40 minutes. I try to keep it minimum because, like I said, this is really recorded for my journey purposes. I just want to be able to look back and reflect on these videos as well as learn from them. And then, two, I just want to see like how this challenge really put me in a different headspace. And I would say, like, this is me practicing discipline. And when I tell you it's been the hardest, I've had so many distractions, and I even had to get a new phone. Like, I didn't have a phone at a time. Like, y'all, it's been crazy. But I have to say, like, I've been able to overcome these obstacles, and I'm super proud and I'm happy that I'm able to give myself grace for one, as well as just share my testimony in hopes to help someone else. Um, so that's what the main goal here is, because I could have kept these videos to myself, but I felt like that would be a little selfish of me because I just feel like there's things that I know that I go through that other people do as well. And if I can supply any tools, resources, or conversation that can help lead you in a different direction, in a more positive direction, then that's my goal here. So, yeah. Let's see. Okay. Through meditation, you'll find you'll have random thoughts, positive and negative. You realize you're not in direct control of them. It makes it easier to detach yourself from negativity in your mind. So I actually have a comment on that. There's this video. So after I'm done with this August challenge, I'm going to share all the videos that I was watching on YouTube, which are like sermons. Um, if you guys haven't heard of this prophet, his name is Prophet Lovy, Lovy. Look him up. He has some teachings that are just mind blowing. And when I tell you, I want to rewatch all the ones that I watch. I put them in a playlist because I was just like, wow, like his teachings are phenomenal. And he's based out of California. But long story short, he gave a teaching about meditation and how, the world kind of, how can I say, not misuse it, but in other words, misuse the concept of meditating. So, yes, it is in the word that we are supposed to meditate. However, the way you meditate is all the difference. Like, and this is why it's so important to read your word as well as, just learn from more, what would you call it? More experienced people. And that's the thing where you can really just tell to, like, you feel it in your spirit if a person is like real or fake, I guess. Like, I feel like it's hard to explain, but like you would know. I feel like you feel it in your spirit. It's called discernment, where you'll know if what a person is speaking is true or false. So when I went through this sermon, I forget what exactly it was called, but it was speaking on meditation and how technically we're supposed to meditate on the word. So, and that's why, so like for me, I would pick a verse and focus on that verse. I mean, a verse, a scripture. And so my main one, so when I meditate, I have two verses that I keep in mind at all times. So no matter what thought comes to me at the end, I always reflect it to these two verses. And the two verses are Matthew 6:33, live righteously, or above all else, live righteously, in all things shall be added unto you. And then Matthew 7:7. The book of Matthews is one of my favorites. So Matthew 7:7 is ask and you shall receive, seek and you shall find, knock and the door shall be open to you. So with that being said, um, yeah, that's my main focus when I meditate. I don't just meditate and like let, because I feel like that is a way for anything else to come into the atmosphere where it can be negative. It can be, distracting. It can be not good. So for me to block that out, I automatically, like I said, like thoughts come, both good and bad. But at the end, I know my main focus is on the Lord. So I think, it'll be beneficial if you just pick a Bible verse. It don't necessarily have to be those. Those are just mine that I tend to come to all the time. But I feel like if you pick, a scripture that, really impacts you, then, and you concentrate on that scripture, then a lot of things could be revealed. A lot of things could be, coming to you at that time of meditation. So that's it. I just wanted to throw that out there. Yes, As a Man Thinketh is definitely a classic. So if y'all haven't read it, please go do it. There was another one that's called Soul Searching. That one was so good too. I forget who's it by though. I have to find it on my bookshelf. Once I find it, I'll probably show it on tomorrow's video. Um, let's see. Um, Hector Brasino. You said you want to explore the Vatican's library or Vatican's. Oh, Vatican's. Let me see. Um, your discipline, commitment, and energy when doing this challenge is inspiring, considering you are coming in after a full day of being a mother, wife, and everything else you are to the world. Oh, you're so sweet. But thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I feel like it's hard sometimes to really accept, all the roles that I do have, only because it does make me also realize, like, because I do play so many roles or I wear so many hats, I fall short every single time. And that's okay. It's just, I'm not personally okay with it because I want to give 100%, like, in everything that I do, in everything that I touch. I want to literally give 100%. So that's the only thing I feel I battle with. Well, not the only thing, but one of the major things I battle with. Just, you know, giving myself grace as well as continuing to love myself as much as I need to. Um, I have to check out Lovi. Never heard of him. I wonder what he is referring to about people misusing meditation. Yes. So like I said too, if you can't find it at the end of this challenge, I made a playlist or yeah, I made a playlist of my spiritual teachings that I watch. So I'll definitely drop all the gems. Everything that I watched, I'm definitely gonna make it available for anybody to look at it as well. So, yep. But I believe I am going to call it a night if you guys are good with everything. You guys don't have any more questions or concerns, comments, suggestions, anything like that, let me know. And thank you so much, Quincy, for blocking out all those comments. I really greatly appreciate it. I didn't even know I could do that, but thanks. Thank you so much for your wisdom. I will be sure to check back tomorrow. Aw, thank you for joining me. I greatly appreciate it. And please be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. You have a great night. As always, it's been a pleasure. Get some rest. LOL, they were wild. They were, but it be like that at this time of night. But that's okay because I'm, trying to be positive about it. So I know the Lord is doing marvelous things, and I can't keep, fighting against that, y'all. If I just come on here super late, that's just where God got me. So I must be here for a reason. Um, yes, Hector, I will be on here tomorrow as well. There's not a particular time, but like I said, usually I'm starting to realize it's between. It's okay. So where are you guys from by chance? Before I hop off, where are you guys from? Hector and Thalia, I think. Am I pronouncing your name right? Um, but it's like 2:46 where I am. Oh, I'm in Indiana in the USA. So is it the same time where you guys are? I'm just wondering. And that's a few. I'm from Cali. Okay. Okay. Oh, good. So you're actually on Pacific time, Portland, Oregon, and my children were watching. So thank you for removing horrible comments. Oh, thank you. But yes, my guy Quincy, he did it. Thank you, Quincy. We appreciate you helping us out with that. 12:47. It's 12:47. Okay, okay, okay. All right. So, yeah, for me it is 2:47. So, I need to get to bed. My son's probably going to be waking up pretty soon cuz I am still nursing him as well. But yes, I love that you guys have joined me. I pray that, this was something helpful for you all, which I see that, you guys are saying that it was. I'm happy for that, that God is moving and He's definitely, making a way for all of us. We just have to seek Him and He'll definitely expose Himself. Girl, you are a warrior. Thank you. Y'all don't stop. Yeah, stop, stop, stop. I feel like the reason why, and yes, I know Quincy, you're in Virginia, so you're 3:47, and you know what? I applaud you because I know, I kept missing you and all this stuff too. So I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. But thank you guys. I could never say thank you enough for just joining me and helping me through this journey. I do feel like, too, the reason I do late sessions instead, for one, I am a night owl, guys. If I had to choose, if I was to wake up early or stay up late, I'm definitely staying up late. And then on top of that, like I said, I am nursing my son, so he's been doing better since I've started this challenge. He hasn't waken up in the middle of the night so much, but he definitely wakes up at 5 o'clock. So with that, I at least know I have maybe, 3 hours, maybe 3 hours or two and a half. And then once he goes back to sleep, then I'm able to catch up on my rest, maybe until about 10 or 11. And then, of course, my daughter, she wakes up and she's like, Mommy, I'm hungry. So I'm like, all right, let's, get the day going and all that good stuff. But yes, that's just my life. But on that note, y'all stay safe, stay blessed, always be a blessing. Until next time, Bessels.